Wow. Team Pacquiao says that Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Errol Spence similar to what he did with Antonio Margarito in 2010. I got some questions about that. We're going to talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Throw a like on the video. That helps let others know that this content may be content that they're looking for in the sweet science, the world of boxing. My name is Ego, so please hit the like button. Appreciate you guys. And I made a video, but I want to make a follow-up video about this. There's an interview, and the link is in the description. It says Manny Pacquiao chose to face Errol Spence despite Freddie Roach's objections. Now, this interview from Freddie Roach, his trainer, Manny Pacquiao's longtime trainer, he tells the world that Errol Spence wasn't his first choice. But you guys got to check that video for more on that. So he admits, after Freddie Roach also said that he believed Keith Thurman is more challenging for Pacquiao's style than Errol Spence will be. So those two things don't really add up. But again, for more on that, check that last video. Now, I want to make this video because Freddie Roach kind of let in on the game plan of what he believes Pacquiao does that makes him superior to Errol Spence, right? They're both southpaws. Freddie Roach basically says that Pacquiao has experience with southpaws from his days in the Philippines fighting, and he believes the footwork of Pacquiao will be key. Now, it says right here, Pacquiao's footwork will be key. Roach believes he'll fight Spence similar to the way they approached Antonio Margarito 2010, despite the fact that Spence is left-handed and Margarito is right-handed. Margarito was a super welterweight when he fought Pacquiao. Pacquiao simply couldn't afford to go toe-to-toe with him. So he and Freddie Roach concocted a plan in which he would be on his toes. You know that Pacquiao, right? Darts in, throws combination, and zip out. It's going to be much the same against Errol Spence, Roach said, right? Quote, Manny Pacquiao was in and out. He was in and out, in and out. And when he does that, his opponent doesn't know whether he's coming or going. When he breaks in with his combination, he can't sit in the pocket. If he sits in the pocket, he'll get hit back, and this guy is a good puncher. He's got to get in, hit, and get right out of the way. Freddie Roach continues, and you can't just go straight right in on him. You have to use an angle. Manny's been doing that quite a bit. His footwork is key to winning this fight. Manny Pacquiao's footwork is better than anyone's. He's on his toes, and he could do it for 12 whole rounds. Very interesting stuff from Sir Freddie Roach regarding this fight. Pacquiao does have good footwork. It's just he's awkward. Pacquiao's awkward, southpaw, and you can't teach what Pacquiao does. Now, I gotta admit, the whole Antonio Margarito angle is missing me. I don't really get that. Freddie Roach is saying we gotta fight him like we did Antonio Margarito. Now, I know Margarito, he was pretty tall, 5'11"-ish, and they say Spence is 5'10" or whatever height he is. But the thing is, Margarito, his style is nothing, and I repeat, nothing like Errol Spence. So I didn't even understand when Freddie Roach said that, personally, the fact that, like, oh, we could fight him like Margarito, because Margarito wasn't known for like setting these elaborate traps and stuff. Margarito's bread and butter is to be in your wheelhouse, pressure, come forward, throw hands, relentless Terminator style. But we've never seen that from Errol Spence to not be calculated. Like, furthermore, Errol Spence showed you in his fight with Robert Garcia's brother, who you see on the screen, Mikey Garcia, that he's not a one-trick pony. There were so many people, when I was making videos, I predicted Errol Spence to win that fight. There were a lot of people on my channel at the time. You can go look at those old videos. They're still on my channel. And those old videos, they were getting mad. People were getting mad. The racists, the skinheads, they were getting mad that I was picking Errol Spence to beat Mikey Garcia. The comments that I was reading Some guys were saying, oh, Mikey's a way better technical boxer. He's methodical, which he is a good boxer, right? But they were saying that Errol can't box. He's basically one-dimensional. And guess what? I went to Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. I had a ringside seat in Jerry's world, and he outboxed the man. And he inflicted pain too. So Mikey Garcia was getting beat all night with the jab. And I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but if I had to suggest what the game plan would be for Errol Spence, I would say early on, just pump the jab out, because Pacquiao likes to run in, and then Pacquiao mess around and run into something. Errol Spence has a very strong jab, and he can stay on it. See, this is the thing. I know fighters like Errol, and fighters who have multiple dimensions and power and, inside fight game, things that Errol Spence has, sometimes they get bored with just basic fundamentals. Just just popping the jab out there. That gets boring. They like a little bit more action. They want the highlight reel type of performance. But any disciplined fighter, and I do believe Errol Spence is a disciplined fighter, they could, if they have the fundamentals and their coach and their game plan, they could stick to that. Just bop, stick to that. So I think Errol Spence is going to shock people. I think he's going to shock Pacquiao. I'm picking him to win. I don't see the comparison. I do think Errol Spence is all around. It's his time. You know what I mean? He's the guy. He's very fundamentally sound for starters. And he also has that X factor in terms of he can get you out of there. Leonard Bundu, drop you like Sean Porter when it's clutch. And I think he's just going to give like more of a mixture of these different styles. And you'll see a little bit of what you've seen from Danny Garcia, a little bit of what you've seen from the Sean Porter era, a little bit or a lot of bit of what you've seen versus Mikey Garcia. But as far as the Errol Spence, we're gonna fight him like Margarito. I don't get that. The height difference is like the only similarity, and that fight was in 2010, and it's 2021, so it's over a decade old. Pacquiao, to me, started getting tired in the Keith Thurman fight. Errol Spence, if you don't defend well, he will tire you out. You'll get broke down, the battle of attrition type of thing, right? Margarito was slow, and I don't know. It's gonna be a good fight. That's all. I'm not sleeping on Pacquiao. I know Pacquiao is dynamic, things like that, but I don't see any comparison. And Margarito, it was a tough fight. Little do some of y'all know, quiet as kept, I have an interview, I think it was on the Manny Pacquiao movie documentary, and he said at that time when they filmed him, he did an interview, and he said that was his toughest fight. So people just talk about how Margarito's face got beaten to smithereens, which is true, but I seen Pacquiao literally say that was his toughest fight in an interview. So this is going to be a crazy fight, because unlike Margarito, Errol Spence, I think people are sleeping on Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence is much faster. He's more rhythmic and athletic than Margarito, and he's not a one-trick kind of Terminator style that's easy to read. He's not stationary. Errol, he could do it. He's an Olympian, He's an Olympian. So guys like that, oftentimes they show you what is needed for each bout. They show you what's needed. Errol Spence, I think he can use his legs more. He showed you that in the Danny Garcia fight. That's why I don't know what certain people are watching. Danny Garcia fight, coming off of a car accident, he got on his bicycle and was using his legs and, things like that, especially when he got tired later in the fight, having the inactivity and being off. So we'll see. Again, I'm not sleeping on Pacquiao. I know what Pacquiao can do. I know what he's capable of. I also think that it's a southpaw versus southpaw matchup, which is very dynamic. I think Pacquiao, another major difference in the Margaritos is he's an orthodox fighter, and I think Pacquiao being a southpaw and woo, jumping in and things like that, that trajectory works better with orthodox fighters. He's able to catch them and You know, most orthodox fighters, the reason why people have trouble with southpaws, like Gervonta Davis and Lomachenko and Pacquiao, is because there's not as many left-handers in this world. That's a fact statistically. Like my whole family, everyone in the family is right-hander except for my sister. She's the only person in my immediate family that is a left-hander. You know what I'm saying? So some people aren't familiar with how to even defend and what to do, and then they get hit because of the trajectory of shots. The shots that are coming on from the southpaw, you might be lined up for that. But Errol Spence, being a southpaw, a natural southpaw, he's not going to be in there. He's not going to be in the same trajectory. So Pacquiao could try the angles and stuff like that, but it'll be a bit different fighting a fellow southpaw. And again, like, look, Margarito was having some success. People sleep on this because, like, look, when Pacquiao was going to ropes and stuff, and that was way in 2010. So all in all, I think it'll be an excellent fight. Pacquiao, I think he's at his time. I think it's Errol Spence's time. Margarito, I don't really see this because Pacquiao, who's he knocked out recently? Lucas Matisse. You know, he hurt Keith Thurman, couldn't stop him. So kind of a weird comparison, saying that Pacquiao's gonna use the Antonio Margarito game plan from a decade plus. I think Freddie Roach knows that Errol is dangerous. We'll see how it all plays out. Let me know what you guys think of my thoughts and this news. Drop it in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. Signing off. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.